Welcome, everybody. This is James Krasnerick here for a live podcast of Real Steel Sports on Spreaker Web Radio. My previous segment I just published not very long ago, maybe like 20-25 minutes ago, was about the lack of real positive reasoning as to why moving the NFL back to Los Angeles was a great idea, and why staying involved in London is a terrible idea for pro football. I'm going to change it up right now. I'm going to talk about something that has been bothering me for a very long time, and it's how the NFL has handled their player safety policy. Turn on CBS tonight right now and you can see my number one gripe. Thursday Night Football. If you want to do Thursday Night Football on Thanksgiving, on the season opener, and maybe Christmas if Christmas falls on a Thursday, do it. But, and this is a big but right here, Thursday Night Football every single week is getting a bit old. It is. Because, again, a couple times a year, if a team has to go from playing Sunday to playing Thursday, they can do it. Just once a year or twice a year, possibly. If it's a season opener, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, you name it. But every week you got something, that doesn't fly for me. Because some players take a whole week to get ready. Let's put it this way. Say Tom Brady gets hit on Sunday playing against the Steelers. And the Patriots' next game is a game they need to win to stay in control of the AFC East against the Dolphins on Thursday night. And Brady might not play Thursday, but he could play definitely on Sunday. Why would you make a division race more impactful just because you want better ratings? It is starting to get a little bit absurd because Roger Goodell is not really a commissioner. He's a businessman. He's not acting like a commissioner. Alright? To further prove my point, since he is the judge, jury, and executioner of anything related to player fines and suspensions, how is it fair to penalize Vontaze Burfict, $25,000 for trying to break Greg Olsen and Cam Newton's ankles, and possibly suspended if it would have been a multiple offender, but to fine a player even more than that for an unnecessary celebration? That's what we're getting to nowadays, people. That's just to prove my point. I'm going to draw the line right here. Whenever wounded veterans come home from wars, whether it be when they came home from the two world wars, or came home from Vietnam, or the Gulf War, there's a system in place now where veterans can get better health care, better benefits, because of the fact that they fought and they sacrificed to make sure that every single one of us can live the lives that we want to live. Now, I know that pro football players are nowhere near in the same breath as soldiers. I don't want anybody to think that. But don't you think that if you gave to the NFL for 14, 15 years and you played your ass off in the time where player safety wasn't very good, conditioning wasn't very good, and you want some money to be able to live your life? I mean, look at John Mackey. Look at Dave Duerson. Look at Junior Seau. Notable players who are dead from head injuries from inadequate equipment. It gets on my nerves because these guys go out there, they bang heads and lock horns, lock arms, and tackle the hell out of each other for 15 years. And when they want some money from the league that employed them, some benefits, like a normal job gives you for when you retire, and they can't get it. It's ridiculous. It really is, because you're basically telling us that. And listen, I'm not so much worried about players now. Players now make enough money that when they save it and they do it right, they can retire at age 30 and never have to work ever again. I'm talking about players who played in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that are still alive today, that have trouble walking, that have trouble speaking, that have post-traumatic stress disorder from too many blows to the face. They deserve compensation for what they've done. And yet the NFL has absolutely turned them a deaf ear. And I know they had the settlement come down. I believe it was for over $700 million for these players. What's that going to do? I'm going to do some quick math for you and just show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's just use $700 million as our note. There's about 1,800 players in the NFL. Let's make an argument that are about maybe 15,000 players retired. The numbers don't lie. It's about 40,000 per player. Many of these people, these players, want to retire and live the way they want to. They have no money left over from the days where players didn't get paid much, and you're only getting in about $50,000 a year. You're the NFL. You make a shitload of money in revenue, and you can't take care of your players. You don't even have a trust fund set up. It just pisses me off because Roger Goodell is pleading player safety, pleading player safety, pleading player safety. But we've got Thursday Night Football, and he wants to expand to an 18-game season. You're basically going to add, say a player plays 15 years. They play 16 games, that's 80 games. They play 18 games, that's 90 games for 15 years, I should say. I meant 15, not 16, my bad. That's an extra 10 more games that they play. Actually, that's an extra... They play 15 games, they play 15 years, 2 extra games a year, that's 30 more games. That's almost 2 more full seasons of football. And you said you're about player safety? Here's another thing about the whole player safety thing that bothers me. It's the Heads Up Football League. The Heads Up Football League doesn't work because when you look at the way that they're teaching kids to tackle now, they're telling them to come up to people and to put their necks back, like hugging them, to like hug them practically. Basically, you are going to breed players that if they're a little undersized, they're going to get ran the fuck over. You get a big 260-pound running back going full speed. He lowers his head just a little bit. Your 200-pound body is going to get trucked about 10 yards. Watch Jerome Bettis run over people. Watch John Riggins and Jim Brown. That's what you're going to get. You're teaching these players to come up on big players. And you can't go for the ankles now anymore either. Here's what also drives me insane. The fact that right now in the NFL, shit, I lost my train of thoughts here. Give me a second here. There's just no way that, Goodell really does care as much about his players as he lets on. He really doesn't. Because it still drives me nuts that he's the judge, jury, and executioner. Instead, he have like a meeting with people and having people, like a board of members, discuss what they think should be. You have one guy, and if one guy doesn't like you, he can suspend you as long as he wants. Roger Goodell suspended Ben Roethlisberger 6 games, and Ben never got convicted of anything. I know it turned into 4 games, but that's not the point. Ben Roethlisberger was never charged, was never indicted. He was acquitted extremely early in the case because they found no evidence. They didn't find shit linking Ben to what happened, either of the two sexual assault accusations. We have video of Ray Rice punching his wife, dragging his wife out of an elevator. And he got 2 games for that. Just let that sink in for a second. Just let that sink in. A guy who gets indicted gets 2 games, and a guy who goes without charges gets 4. What kind of world does that sound like? Pretty fucked up one, if you ask me. But the thing about it is, with this player safety, is this. I talked about in my last show about how jet lag with London and whatnot, so you have to listen to that. I'm not going to give too many more spoilers, but this league, this whole NFL is starting to really get on my nerves because they don't care about their players. They don't. They really do not care about the players. The people going out there and tearing up their knees and their arms for this game, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I've been a fan of football for a long time. And prior to Goodell becoming commissioner, we never had any of these issues. We never had any of these issues. Goodell, trying to put his hand where he shouldn't, is causing more problems than he's solving. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight. I will be probably doing more shows. I did my trimester report, my my 1/3 of the way through the NFL year report. I'll be doing one, I believe, again after week 12. So be staying tuned for that. And take care and have a good one, everybody.